On this episode of Mythbusters, Adam and Jaime show they're really a kid at heart, an explosive Charlie Brown myth. Who are the Mythbusters? Adam Savage and Jaime Heineman. Together, over 30 years special effects experience. They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test.
So, Jaime, we have a special myth today.
Yeah, it's a myth on Charles Schultz, who's famous for
Creating the Peanuts comic strips.
right, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, minus all those other people.
Yeah, and this myth comes right from the fan site. And the myth is that Charles Schultz isn't important.
And how are we going to test that?
Well, first, my friend, I think we're going to need to do some research.
What are you doing?
Research.
Right. Well, what have you learned?
He's a pretty funny guy.
Get to work.
Well, what have you found?
Well, Charles Schultz was a cartoonist by profession, and Peanuts was first published in the papers in 1956, and he died in 1999, which was the last year Peanuts was published.
That gives me an idea.
What, do you need to get to work?
No, that's the myth.
Adam's plan is to recreate the years of 1956, 1978, and 1999 to see if people in those years thought Charles Schultz was important or not. But Adam, why those years?
Well, I used Jamie's research that I stole from his laptop. And Peanuts was first published in newspapers in 1956. Then for the last time, in 1999. Then I took the mean from those 2 years, which is 1978, rounded up. So I figure those 2 years are best to test.
Not to burst your ill-conceived bubble or anything, but how are you going to recreate 1956?
Well, got these almanacs from 1956, 78, and 99. And if I use this gadget I've been working on, then all the little nuances will be recreated after I type in all the details in this little computer, and it recreates them on a 9-block radius.
That's dumb.
Adam and Jaime head to their favorite test site, the old parking garage.
So, when I push this button, Jaime will be reverted to the year 1956. Ready, Jaime?
Yeah, fire it up.
The guy set up the year recreator machine with the intent of Jaime as its first victim.
So, do you think Charles Schultz is important?
No, of course not. Well, who is he? I don't know. Must not be important thing.
Alright, we're going to run test 2. Ready, Jaime?
Yes, fire it up.
Alright. 3, 2, 1. So, do you think Charles Schultz is important?
Well, I'd say he's relatively important. I mean, he makes pretty good cartoons, and my kids like him and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I'd say he's pretty important.
Alright, we're going to run test 3. Ready, Jaime?
Yep, fire it up.
3, 2, 1. So, do you think Charles Schultz is important?
One of the most important people of this generation. To say Schultz is unimportant would be just completely ludicrous. He's the greatest cartoonist who ever lived. Of course he's important.
Alright, we're going to turn the machine off. Now let's go with the results in the lab.
Agreed.
So, as they head back to the lab, what have the guys learned?
Well, Jaime, I think that's indisputable evidence that Charles Schultz is important. Back in 1956, no one even knew who he was, but as the years progressed, his importance did too.
Well, that's true. I really don't think the opinions of one person exactly prove a myth.
Especially your opinion.
Haha. But really, even if his importance did progress as his career progressed, I really think we should figure out why.
Should I go get that?
No, I don't think that will be necessary.
More research?
More research.
So, while Jaime hits the web, Adam, well, hits the books.
So, Adam, what did you learn?
Well, in this great book, Schultz and Peanuts, I was reading about how Charles Schultz was a great influence in the cartoon making industry. In the early 50s, all the cartoons in the newspapers and other publications were based solely for adults, where Charles Schultz had the likable characters that made kids enjoy them too. So anything you read in the Sunday paper comics or from Saturday morning cartoons like the Looney Tunes were all inspired by Charles Schultz's work.
Yeah, that's true. Charles Schultz did have a huge impact on the cartoon industry. It's really funny today to think about cartoons not being especially for adults, but back in Charles Schultz's day, they were. Thanks to Charles Schultz, however, we get the idea that cartoons are only for kids. Cartoons have come a long way since Charles Schultz's time. In fact, there's entire networks dedicated to cartoons, like the Cartoon Network, or Nickelodeon, or Disney Channel Toonology, whatever it's called. But he had an extreme influence on cartoons.
And Adam, isn't there something you want to say about a certain Christmas special that comes on every day during December?
Right, with his Christmas special, Charlie Brown Christmas. Although the networks in the beginning were very reluctant to show this, Schultz persuaded them, and they finally decided to show it. Through the very famous scene of Linus reciting passages from Luke, describing the Christ's birth, Schultz was able to relay his religious message out to everyone, not just the people who went out of their way on Christmas to celebrate through churches and other areas. But since this was a staple in everyone's holiday tradition, he was able to reach out to those of other religions.
And yeah, you really still see that today with all the networks now. They're trying not to put all the religious stuff on TV and everything. But him being able to do that, at the time period he did it in, was revolutionary, and it really pushed open the door for anyone trying to still do that today. In fact, I would say if a Charlie Brown Christmas had never aired, we would never see anything religious on television.
The guys are right. While Schultz did a lot of his work with pure humor as the intention, that Christmas special, which won an Emmy and a Peabody, brought the real meaning of Christmas to the forefront and showed Schultz's emphasis on religion. As a cartoon, Peanuts ran for almost 50 years and was the first one which featured real people, not just those pirates and spacemen Jaime reads before he goes to bed. Truly revolutionary, ahead of its time in many respects in that it dealt with the everyday problems of literally little people. Schultz's cartoon was one of the only connections between generations in the 60s and 70s and has been translated into 26 languages worldwide. Schultz also received the Congressional Gold Medal and has been inducted into the Licensing Industry Merchandisers Association Hall of Fame for all that Peanuts merchandising done during his life. Even Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield, says Schultz created the industry as far as cartooning licensing goes. So Jaime, does that mean myth busted? Yep, myth busted.